Hey everybody, welcome to Geekoholics Anonymous, episode 137. My name is Rico. I'm here with my co-host,
Mr. Dane Cody.
Mr. Dane Cody and I get together once a week, talk about video games, TV, movies, and whatever the hell we like. And actually, that's a big fat lie because we didn't get together last week. Because we were busy eating turkey and playing in the snow and enjoying Christmas.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I was doing. I don't know what you were doing.
I was working last week.
Oh, that's right. You had the week off before Christmas.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it doesn't really matter because it was over super quick, and now I'm back at work too. So,
yeah.
I was so excited. I'm like, yay, 10 days off. This is being amazing. I'm back at work again.
Yeah, man. It went so fast for me too. I mean, part of it was, you know, you're doing like the whole Christmas prep and everything leading up to it. And then, so that takes several days. And then, of course, as you get closer to Christmas, at least in my case, because I had the days of the week before Christmas off, you know, the days leading up to Christmas, there's like friends and family and wife and, you know, just stuff that you need to deal with.
Parties and get-togethers.
Yeah, exactly.
Obligations.
Totally. And it's weird, you know, like I look back and I go like, man, I played a lot of games during that period. But at the same time, like, I don't feel like I played a lot of games, if that makes any sense.
For the amount of time I had off, I didn't play that much.
Exactly.
I played like some new stuff, but I really expected to play more, but we always had something going on. I was like, I just want to play games. Everybody just go away.
I know. I was joking to my wife that I needed to take a week off in this upcoming year and just when everybody else is at work and doing off stuff.
When everyone else is working. Yeah.
Yeah. And
staycation.
Yeah. And just stay at home and play all the games. So
that was one of my favorite things, though very selfish, my old job.
Mm-hmm.
I hate working weekends.
Right.
But when you worked a Saturday, you would get like Sunday, Monday, Tuesday off.
Right.
So then it's like, that's exactly what would happen. Monday and Tuesday, everyone's
sit at home. And,
everyone's at work. There's no one around to bug you or pull you away from what you're doing to, hey man, what are you doing? I need a hand with this. Or, hey man, you want to hang out? Or, hey family, we need to just be doing family things.
Right.
It's like no one's around to bug you. And it's like, oh.
That's like,
but I don't get those days anymore, so that's the only thing I miss. But I don't know. I do kind of enjoy not having to work weekends ever again.
Yeah, not working weekends is awesome.
Yeah, because working weekends is pretty lame.
Yeah, I pretty much hate it. So, but no, it was a good holiday. It was a good break. The time off was needed.
Was Santa good to you?
Yeah, he was good. He's good.
Well, I'm a dad now, so I got like squat.
All of your Santa got funneled into your child now?
I got some underwear, some socks, some... Did I even get any clothes? Can't even remember. I got some money, but it wasn't extravagant and crazy like Christmases past, but that's all right.
Yeah, I hear you.
I think I've said it before. I pretty much have everything I want except for a Lamborghini, so...
Yeah, those are a little bit pricey.
Yeah, that's a ways off.
Yeah, I hear you. No, my wife got me Farpoint for Christmas for PSVR. She got me the whole thing with the wand and the gun and everything, so that was pretty cool. Also picked up Near Automata or Automata or however the hell you pronounce it.
I really need to get back to that.
But it's the PS4 version, and as anybody who knows
it's
on the
only
show,
PS4, isn't it? No, it's on.
No,
PC.
it's also on PC as well.
That's right.
But anybody that listens to the show knows that my wife has sort of taken over my PS4. I kind of half joked about buying another PS4, but that's kind of becoming a little more of a less than a joke these days.
Getting very serious. Are you getting that pro?
I might actually have to do that. I don't know. 'Cause yeah, like in all honesty, my entire break, I figured like, oh man, I'm gonna finish Assassin's Creed Origins. And don't get me wrong, I dropped some time into Assassin's Creed Origins, but I definitely did not finish it. And you know, she got hard into Diablo 3, and that was kind of on me. I mean, I did buy it for her, thinking that she would enjoy it, and she has.
Man, she obviously has.
She's finished the game. She beat the game and the expansion because that's the way it comes on PS4.
Yeah.
She beat the game. She beat the expansion. She restarted it. Did a bunch of like the quests and the various things. Then she also decided, okay, I need to beat this with a hardcore character.
I saw your tweet.
And if anybody's played Diablo 3, what a hardcore character is you have one life. And when that character dies, that's it. You have to start all over again. So she managed to get to the last boss in the expansion.
Oh, so she had beaten Diablo.
She beat Diablo. And then she went to beat, what's his name?
Mathiel? I can't remember how to pronounce his name.
Mathael. Anyways, so she was fighting him. She had him 3/4 of the way down, and then she died. She was devastated.
Yeah, you don't say. I think I would have cried.
Yeah, so she's picked up the pieces. She's trying again. She's started another character. I think she's like level 42 or something like that on this new one, hoping to obviously right the wrong that was committed to her the last time. So we'll see how it goes. but yeah.
Malthael.
Yeah.
Whatever. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but whatever.
So yeah. But with her super enjoying Diablo 3, it means that I don't have a PlayStation 4.
PS4, sorry.
Exactly. So yeah. So I've got near sitting here, but I haven't had an opportunity to pop it in there and play it yet. So we'll see. I'm hoping to get some time into there one of these days, but I don't want to put it in. It's still in the wrapper. I'm trying. I don't want to open that up until I finish Assassin's Creed Origins.
Yeah.
So
it's in my pile of shame. Yeah, Christmas was cool here. I did buy some of my own gifts.
Ooh.
I partook in some
Steam sales?
Boxing Day sales.
Oh, okay.
I did buy something off the Steam sale. It's the
Sweet.
first in a while. Everything in what you've been playing outline is stuff that I bought that was on sale. I bought Dead Cells on Steam, and I bought FIFA 18, and then Tekken 7 as well. Did I buy anything else? I bought some toys and stuff.
That's always good.
I might have gone a little overboard with buying stuff, but I even bought a green screen.
Oh,
don't ask me why. Got all the stuff and doing nothing with it, but hey, I'll be ready.
But you've got it, just in case.
I actually don't have the green screen yet. It's on back order.
It's on order.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah, Christmas was great. The little one was awesome. She had a blast. We had a white Christmas, which was pretty cool.
That doesn't happen too often around here.
Albeit a short-lived one because the snow was pretty much melted by the afternoon in most places. But it was pretty. We woke up to snow, and it was also not so crazy that everyone got in car accidents and killed each other.
That's key. That's very key.
So it looked pretty, but everyone was safe because it wasn't a freaking blizzard like the East Coast is like essentially going through right now.
Yeah, that looks gross.
Yeah.
Feel for all those people out there.
I guess with that, Dane, we can get into what you've been playing.
Not much. Just a couple of things.
Yeah. I was going to say I totally skipped the outline here, but welcome everyone. Hopefully you all had a good Christmas and New Year as well. Obviously, as you've just witnessed, our BS section where we usually shoot the shit for a bit at the start of the show. But after that, we get into some what you've been playing. talk about some news, public service announcements, and of course our free for all section. Before we leave you until next week, and the week after that, and the week after that, except for
the week after
holidays. That. But yeah,
fair
Dane,
enough.
what you been playing? You talked about one Diablo 3 expansion, like Reaper Souls, right?
Yeah. So I picked up Diablo way back Diablo 3 when it first came out for PC. Played, leveled up a character, I think I beat the story probably twice. I think once on normal, once on hard, or whatever it was at the time.
Not Nightmare.
I can't remember. And at the time, like, it was a totally different game. So of course, with my wife picking up Diablo 3 on PS4 and her diving into that, and then I saw that Diablo 3 Reaper of Souls expansion was on like mad sale leading up to Christmas.
Yeah, you bought that before we went on break, right? Yeah, you were talking about that on the last podcast or the one before that even.
No, I picked it up on break. I was probably talking about playing Diablo with my wife because I played a little bit of co-op with her once I got it for her. Mm-hmm. So I picked up the expansion because it was on sale. It was like $12 or something.
Oh, you didn't have the expansion. You just had regular Diablo 3.
I just had regular Diablo 3. So I played a whole bunch, sort of finished the first like chapter of the Diablo 3 expansion. And I was kind of curious to see how the game has changed since I played it because when I stopped playing it still had the auction house and you could pay real money for in-game items and like that was what was happening.
A long time ago, Dane. Yeah. That was like 4 years ago.
Like I said, it was a long time ago.
Maybe 5.
So needless to say, Diablo 3 has changed a lot. The expansion in that game is great. I've actually able to continue on with my character. Funny enough, my character from back then is still there. All of my items that I was wearing were still in my, still on my character, but everything else in my inventory was gone.
Oh, so you're playing this separately from your wife on PC?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And, but everything that was still in my stash was still there. So it's kind of weird. But yeah, and I still had all my cash that a friend of mine, when we were playing it as a group, went and bought, I don't know, he paid like $20 or $5 or I don't remember what it was at the time, and got like a shitload of in-game gold. I think it was like 50 million in-game gold or something like that.
Really?
Yeah. And he gave us he gave me like 10 million in-game gold. And so I jumped back in my account and I still have all of the gold. I still have the items that were in my stash. I still had the things that were on my character, but everything else was gone. Almost like a big reset, which was kind of interesting. So I'm playing through the expansion. It's good. It's Diablo 3. I'm sure the expansion hasn't changed that much. It's all the stuff after, once you finish it, that is all different. Back when I played it, you would essentially just continue to play the game on harder difficulty modes. Now there's like all these different quest lines and like greater rift and this. Yeah, like it's crazy. So, stay tuned for more of that when I sort of jump in the mood. So I played a ton of games, and some of these I'm going to kind of glance over and not spend too much time on, because some of them I played lots. I mean, I'm skipping over a bunch of the stuff that I've been spending a ton of time playing regardless.
Yeah, you've already talked about lots.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I checked out the winter event in Secret World Legends, which was really great. And then, of course, that sucked me in for like another 6 to 8 hours. So, you know, that game's really great and it's free. So if you're looking for an awesome MMO, I still highly recommend it. It's a lot of fun. And
Dane,
unlike
the free-to-play champion.
Hey, man, like I said before, that game it's unlike any other MMO out there by far.
Nothing else. Freaking neat.
Nothing else.
More damn time.
Nothing else is like that game. Like,
no, you said that, and multiple people on the internet have said that.
Yeah, it's cool as shit. And I've gotten way past where I was before. I'm seeing more of the world. I've almost finished up like the first leg of the story now. Yeah, game just continues to surprise me. I actually logged in just to see if there was any cool items for the Christmas season. And like I said, I logged in, and then 8 hours later, I was like, oh shit, I gotta like get out of here.
It's like you got blackout drunk at a party, and you're just like, how did I get here? Where did my pants go?
That's exactly what happened. I played another game that I picked up on the Steam sale called Kingdoms and Castles. I'm not even 100% sure if it's out. It may be in early access. I'm not 100% sure.
I don't know if I've ever heard of this game before.
I know. I hadn't either. It was one of those $5 on Steam, sort of, this could go really good or it could go really bad. Not entirely 100% sure. It's kind of like a SimCity-like game. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
And
City builder?
Yeah. And it's like super simple voxel style graphics. But it's a ton of fun, and it's a city builder. You build a city, you have a castle, you can build, and you can play it depending on how you want to play it. You can build your like you can build armies, and you can send your guys to war and destroy. And you can build defensive stuff. Like, all of that is in there if you want, or you can put it on I just want a sort of a kingdom sim, and I don't necessarily want to deal with like the battles and that kind of stuff. It's totally dependent on how you want to play. You can build like huge, like I said, like big castles and battering rams and get all kinds of fun. But it's like a super, like, the graphical style is really unique, and I was really surprised when I kind of saw it. And it looks.
Is it a known studio, or is it like an indie title?
No, it's a really small studio. It's developed by a guy called Lion Shield. I'm not sure where they're from. It's like I said, it's kind of simple graphics, like almost like voxels, a little bit like Minecraft. But it works really well for the type of game that it is. It's not in early access. It's actually out
on Steam. Wow.
Yeah, well, that was the thing. It showed up in my feed as like a game that I might like.
Yeah, and all reviews very positive. 3,883 reviews.
Totally. And that's actually what caught my eye. I was like, man, for a game that, like, you know, and I was kind of in the mood for that type of game. So it's cool. You've got to like get wood, you got to get iron, you got to build things for your blacksmiths, you got to make sure your people are happy. Like, it's got all of those kind of aspects of SimCity. And like I said, but also if you want, there's that whole other aspect about like, I also have to like build an army and I have to defend from like barbarians.
I just
and
saw
like
a village get attacked by barbarians. I'm watching the trailer as we speak.
And like I said, it was like a super, like, I don't know, it's really charming. And there's just something about, you know, anybody that's played like a SimCity or that style of game, you can lose hours so rapidly to a game like that. And this isn't even like turns, it's all in real time. You know, and you got to make sure your people are happy, and they need like different things. So you've got to make sure that they've got charcoal that they can burn in the winter to keep themselves warm. They need food. So you've got to build farms and orchards and things like that. And there's different tile sets. So farms and stuff will only grow on tile sets that are good for farming, and like, you know, you can build bridges and big infrastructure. It's really cool. And like I said, like right now, I'm sure by the time you read this, the Steam sale will probably be over. But I think it's like $10 or something like that, $11
and 24 cents Canadian.
Yeah, right now. And even when it's not on sale, I think it's only like $11.
Yeah. That's exactly
so like
what it is.
And
that's pretty neat.
Honestly, for the price, hell yeah, pick it up. If that's your type of game, I can definitely recommend it. I've got like 3 to 4 hours in now.
You saw that in your queue? Your recommendation?
I was just going through my queue and it popped up. I saw I was like, oh, this kind of looks interesting. The art style kind of drew my eye.
It works.
And I saw that it was like very positive, all of the recent reviews, and I was like, holy crap, like that's doesn't happen very often. And then the price was right because it was super cheap, and I was like, you know what, I'll give it a shot. I'll throw these guys a bone and check it out, and really like it. So yeah,
that's cool.
There you go. That was my that's kind of my Steam indie game that I found during the Steam sale. So
I ended up buying Dead Cells on the Steam sale.
I've heard good things about that one.
That Metroidvania, Castlevania, roguelike.
Right.
It's really good.
Yeah, you're enjoying it.
It's got like that 16-bit pixely style graphics.
Yeah,
It's got a little. I don't know if you played Rogue Legacy, right?
I've played Rogue Legacy. I don't actually. Oh wait, yes I do. Yes, I own Rogue Legacy on my Vita.
I don't know if that was a PlayStation Plus title or not, but that's where I played it. Was primarily on Vita, but it was also I think it's on PS. I'm pretty sure it's on PS4 as well. And same kind of game as that, where it's a castle that's randomly generated, but there's levels and bosses and progression. Right. And when you die, you start over again, and everything like basically randomizes again. But you can carry over like some of your currency. You get upgrades that are permanent upgrades that you will respawn with.
Okay.
The weapons are randomized, just kind of like Castlevania. When you kill certain enemies, they drop loot. Mm-hmm. There's different weapon types. You've got like shields, swords, daggers, arrows, bombs. There's different abilities you get as well.
Right.
You've got kind of like a dodge ability. It's but it's a little bit Dark Soulsy in that it's pretty tough. Like you can't just run through it willy-nilly, not paying attention.
Right.
You kind of gotta take enemies on in small little groups because they can quickly like outnumber you and then just ruin your day.
Right.
Obviously. It has a really cool style. It's super tight controls. The only thing that makes me upset about this game is I kind of wish I could play it on my Switch.
Oh, really? Is it not out on the Switch?
No, it's not out on the Switch. I think it's still early access on Steam, actually.
Actually, I feel like you're right.
They added they just had a huge update come out for it.
Right.
I think they call it the Foundry update, where it's like there's a weapon foundry and you can build and customize weapons and stuff. Yeah, it's 25% off right now.
Right. Interesting.
It's yeah, the devs say they're really far from finishing it.
Oh, really?
So I don't know when it's going to get out of early access. It's a pretty sweet game, though. It came out in early access earlier in the year.
Okay. I guess we don't know, like, sort of what kinds of changes they've already made or not.
No, they keep making updates to it. I haven't played the game enough to know because I'm obviously playing it the newest.
Right. Yeah.
The newest iteration. But yeah, apparently they've added tons of stuff. The combat is super tight. I really like the graphical style. Yeah, they call it a Roguevania, 2D Souls-like action. So like, you know, a little bit of Dark Souls influence, obviously. It's a pretty sweet freaking game. I'm just reading here on their Steam page. 11 levels, 2 bosses, 50 or so weapons and skills, 2 special powers, 1. This is just some of the stuff they added. Yeah, so it's 10 to 30 hours. And you can save, so you don't have to do it all in one run.
Right. Oh, that's nice. Okay.
But yeah,
that's actually like really nice. Because that's the one thing that I run into with a lot of those roguelikes is like the whole starting over again and again and again. Like
I'm pretty sure you can save. I hope I'm not wrong on that, but
okay.
I really like it. It's pretty sweet. It's on sale right now. It's $14.24 Canadian, so like free if you live in America.
Yeah.
That's been on my list for a long time. And like I said, I got some money for Christmas, and I'm like, well, I'm just gonna buy my Christmas presents.
Fair enough.
I'm a dad, and I'm gonna do what I like.
Do what I want.
I want this, and I want that, and I want this, and I'm just gonna go buy it. That's what men do. Yeah, I also hit the level cap in Assassin's Creed. I dipped in there really quick.
Oh, nice. So you hit 40?
It didn't actually take me very long to do. I was expecting it to take longer, but I guess I was halfway through level 38.
Oh, okay. So you weren't too far away.
I missed out on the bloody freaking God event because they're gone, but they'll come back, I'm sure. But now I'm at level cap, so now I could probably cheese them to death.
I think they come back every weekend.
Yeah, well, they had They had all three, I think, the weekend before Christmas, but
yes, they were at one point. Yeah, no, that's fair.
I honestly didn't start playing it, I think, until this last weekend. I'm like, I kind of was like, no one was around to play Destiny, and I'm like, stop playing Destiny, you crackhead. Do something else. And then I started playing Assassin's Creed, and I'm like, oh yeah, this game's freaking awesome.
Yeah.
And then I totally got sucked back in and started doing some quests. Oh, I did that Final Fantasy quest. That was one of the main reasons I started playing again.
Oh, yeah, you didn't want to miss out on that.
No, you weren't kidding. That weapon's pretty freaking awesome you get.
Isn't it? Oh, it's so sweet.
I wouldn't say it's much of a quest. It's so freaking short.
No, it is. It is very short.
The rewards are pretty cool.
And it's super neat. Like, it just, I don't know. For me, I had no idea that it was a Final Fantasy quest. Like, I just had this thing where it was like, yeah, this is check out this new quest that we've added or whatever. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. I'll check that out. And then, like, I went and did it. And I was like, wait, that was a Final Fantasy? What? Oh! And then I, like, looked it up and I was like, yep. And I was like, oh, that's so cool.
Because there's, like, a new quest icon on your map, but it was a different color unlike anything you've seen before.
Yeah, exactly. And I was kind of like, oh, I wonder what that is.
Yeah,
like,
what's this?
And I'm in the recommended level or whatever to go check that out. I'm like, oh, cool. I'll check that out.
I did that. And then I'm like, well, man, may as well get to 40. I'm here now. And like when I hit level 39, I got an ability point. And I had 2 ability points at this point because I hadn't used, I think mostly everything that I can buy needs at least 2 now because I almost have every ability.
Right.
And I'm like, I think I need at least 10 or 16 more ability points to fill out this whole tree. But I'm like, I only have 1 level left. And I'm like, I think I did all the temples. I don't think there's any tablets left for me to find. And I was just like, what the hell? So anyway, I thought about that for a second. Then when I actually hit level 40, they have master levels. Yeah. So the level cap is 40, but you keep getting experience like in Destiny. And every time you would have, instead of going to level 41, you just get an ability point.
Yep. And then like your master abilities, the 3 master abilities, they can have multiple, like you can level them up multiple times.
Yeah. Those ones boost your damage on the 3 different trees.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can keep,
because I've already hit the level cap on a couple of them already.
You can get pretty ridiculous.
Yeah.
So I did that, banged that off real quick. Then I played some other new stuff, but I want to hear you talk about this.
Yeah, so a while ago,
are you playing on PC?
I am.
Okay, I was going to say, because that just literally came out today on PS4 for PlayStation Plus.
Yes.
So it's very relevant that you played it.
Yeah, I know. It was kind of by fluke, actually, too. So a little bit of a backstory. I work in IT, but I got our procurement guy at work to order me like a long HDMI cable so that, because my office is really small. And in one corner of my office, I've got like my monitors and my computer and everything set up. But behind me on a shelf, I have my 42-inch TV that's right there, which has got my Switch and my Wii U, and I think my Xbox 360 is also hooked up to it still as well, just because. So I got my guy at work to order me a long HDMI cable, which over the break I connected to my TV. So now I've essentially have a third monitor that's my big ass TV behind me. And I say big ass because it's
for a job.
Oh no, I paid for it. It's fine.
Just kidding.
And I mean, it's not a big ass TV because it's like, what's a 42-inch TV? It's not huge, but I'm sitting like
monitor sitting right on top of it. That's huge.
And I'm also sitting like 3 feet away from it, so it is huge. So I hooked all that up, and I was like, oh man, I kind of was thinking like, what should I play that would kind of give me a good feel for, what's got a good controller and what's something I could play on there, to get kind of the full feel. And that's when I downloaded. I had already owned Batman, the Telltale series. I actually think it was given to me by the publisher.
Yeah, they take a look at everyone on their PR list, because I got it too, and it's just sitting there.
So I downloaded that kind of before I even went through the rigmarole of hooking up my TV and stuff to my PC. And I was like, oh, well, I got some time this one evening. I'm like, why don't I start that? So I ran it to the TV, got my controller out, and I started playing that. So I played through the first episode on my TV, and shit, man, that game is real good. That game is so good. I really like where the story's going.
I've heard good things. I just haven't been able to get to it.
It's a Telltale game, so I mean, if you've ever played one, you don't do a ton of actual
dialogue trees
playing.
And point and click puzzle solving, or
Yep. There's a little bit of point and click puzzle solving where you're Batman, and like there's one point in the episode where there's more or less like a crime scene, and you have to kind of walk around the crime scene and sort of figure out what happened and that kind of thing. But it was all done. Yeah. Oh, totally.
Have you heard the story?
Yeah.
You might not know this about me.
My parents are dead. Yeah. But no, it's a super cool take. It's a super cool take on Batman. I won't ruin it for anybody because this just came out, like you said.
Yeah,
it's a free PlayStation Plus game.
We didn't get to talk about it before the holiday break because they hadn't been released yet, but it'll be in our public service announcements.
Yeah.
This series is part of PlayStation Plus's free games for January.
And it's the whole series, which is super cool.
Yeah.
So I played through... I played through the first episode, which was...
Like an hour or two, or...
Yeah, it was like a couple hours. It was like an hour and a half, 2 hours, somewhere in there, give or take. Super cool though. Like I said, like the character of Batman is done really well. I don't want to ruin any of the story stuff, and that of course is kind of the whole game, because it's you choose dialogue, and then depending on your decisions, characters, things change in the story. And then there's also, sort of quick time events where you gotta do things during the action. Dude's gonna punch you. You gotta hit X. If you don't, he hits you, and then you gotta try and, figure out a different way to like go about it or whatever. Whereas if you hit X in the right time, then he'll duck and punch the guy or the girl or whatever. It's really cool, and it's really well done. It's beautiful. My only knock against it is like, it's a beautiful game, but the frame rate on it is kind of all over the place, which I didn't really anticipate.
That's Telltale.
Yeah.
Janky ass engine.
It's bizarre because, like I said, like most of the time it's like a solid 60 frames a second, and then every once in a while it'll just go all weird and drop down to like 42 or 38, and like and it doesn't seem like there's any real rhyme or reason when it does it. It's not like there's a ton of stuff going on. Sometimes it's just the weirdest moments, and it's just
their janky ass old engine they're using.
It sucks. But that aside, like, I'm having a blast with it. I can't wait to check out episode 2.
The storytelling's good. The characters are good, right?
Oh yeah,
that's
super good. Now that this is out on the PS4, I actually might start playing it again with my wife on the PlayStation 4 with her.
Play it on PS4. I know. I think all the Telltale games also, just if you beat them, you get a platinum. So easy plat.
It wouldn't surprise me actually. Yeah, because I think
Walking Dead
I definitely did get a couple. Oh really? That's funny.
I think they were all like that.
That makes sense, because like, how do you really I mean, I guess you could make people play through them multiple times, but it's always interesting too. At the end of the episode, it gives you a breakdown of
what
the
people
choices you made. Yeah,
so
and
that's the same thing. They did that in Walking Dead.
It's cool actually, and it's interesting to see like how I feel.
How much of a douchebag you are compared to everyone else.
Actually, I was gonna say in my particular case, how much like Batman I play it versus everyone else, and I'm not gonna lie, for the most part, that's been pretty solid. Like most of my decisions were in the majority.
Is that what it does? It compares you to what would Batman do?
No, it's kind of funny because I'm obviously you're playing as Batman, and when I'm in the majority of like 60 to 70% of people chose this one, 70% of people chose that one, like, and I'm the one that also did it, it kind of makes me think like, clearly we're all thinking like, what would Batman do when we're playing it? And, you know, so, but no, it's really good. And if you have a PS4, freaking download it and enjoy it. I'm gonna definitely be playing the rest of the series. It's really cool. So
nice.
I'm enjoying it a lot.
Speaking of PS4, I finally got around to playing Accounting Plus.
Right. So you picked that up, but you hadn't had a chance to play it yet, right?
That VR game from
the Rick and
Justin
Morty people?
Roland, which is one of the co-creators of Rick and Morty.
Right.
And some other dude. And yeah, anyway, it's PlayStation VR. It's kind of a point and click adventure game. It's fucking weird. I don't know if I would recommend it. It's not bad, but it's not good.
It's kind of a point and click adventure, but kind of not.
You use the move controllers, basically, are your hands, and you can teleport around the environment and interact with objects, and there's some puzzle solving, and it's just really weird. Like, it's really weird. It's cartoony graphics.
So it's kind of like the Rick and Morty.
Yeah, it's kind of like the Rick and Morty thing, but it's like a whole new. It's like a weird, different world, and you're like they're little rooms or vignettes, whatever you want to call them, and basically it starts off with you. Hey, welcome to your job. We're doing accounting in VR. Just insert the game cartridge into the machine, and you're opening drawers and pulling stuff out, and so you put the VR headset on, and you put the headset on, and then you like teleport to this weird area.
Right.
And it's just like, okay, where am I? What's going on? And then all of a sudden there's a character. It was just kind of distracting because Justin Roiland, whatever. He's the guy, one of the co-creators of Rick and Morty. He does Morty's voice.
Okay, yeah.
So there's a character like yelling at me. Hey man, F you, man. Get the F out of here. What are you doing, man? Get out of here, man. Don't touch that, man. F off, man. What the hell are you doing? And it's Morty's voice, and he's just really annoying. And it's like, what am I supposed to do? It's like, okay, I can interact with this, and then it's like he starts screaming at you more. It's like, don't touch that. That's mine. Don't touch that. What are you doing? Man, get out of here, man. And then you teleport somewhere else, and it's just these very weird scenes, and it's like,
okay.
I don't know what the point is. Eventually you end up, it's gruesome. You end up dying, but I don't think you don't really die. It just teleports you to another situation. It's definitely a puzzle game. It's like you play through it multiple times and stuff changes, and clearly like you got to do stuff a certain way.
Right.
But the humor is like very Rick and Morty, but it's not quite hitting. And then there's just some creepy shit in it that's like very uncomfortable in VR. Like creepy shit in VR is really creepy in VR.
Yeah.
Like giant looming, like eerie, creepy monster things like towering over you and talking to you.
Okay.
Is very unsettling. My goddamn fucking wife touched me again, but she didn't. I had the TV off, so she had no idea. She was just telling me she was going to bed.
She's like, "Hey, I'm gonna go to bed," and as she walked by, she like touched your shoulder.
She grabbed my shoulder and literally, it was like as the character is moving by me, and I was already in an uncomfortable place, I literally like had a freaking heart attack. She was laughing so hard, she was crying, and I'm like, God damn! I'm like, I fucking hate you so much right now. She's like, what? I'm like, I don't even want to say, but I died a little bit.
Oh, that's kind of amazing.
It's weird because it puts you in this. It starts with this like VR white room, Neo enter the Matrix,
right?
Explaining to you how to play, and it's like very calming voice, and it's kind of funny, and it's like, can you look over here? This is how you move. This is what we call this spot the PlayStation 1.
Oh, that's funny.
Some people really like the PlayStation 1. Teleport over there. Oh, this is the PlayStation 2. Some people view this as the best PlayStation of all the PlayStations. And it's just kind of funny because they're making jokes about PlayStation, obviously.
Right.
And it's kind of teaching you, like, it's a tutorial, and then you get to this point where it's like, choose the Rick and Morty meme that you like the most. And they've got Pickle Rick, Wubba Dubba Lub Dub or whatever, and then they had the Show Me What You Got aliens, and I chose Pickle Rick. So I don't know if the other two are completely different adventures or modes.
Oh, okay.
So I gotta go back. It's interesting, to say the least. It's not like it's just fucked up. It's really weird. It's kind of funny, but it's more twisted and like unsettling.
Right.
And it's like annoying and then a little bit like disturbing. So I guess it's doing what it's trying to do. But I can't just say it's like, oh, this is freaking awesome because you're fucking Batman. You got to play this. I got to play more of it before I can really recommend it.
Right.
But if anything I said was intrigued you, maybe you can check it out. I got it on. It was on it was only like $12.99 or something. On a pre-order discount,
pre-sale or whatever.
I picked up Hellblade, Sasuna or whatever.
Yeah,
I picked that up. It was on sale. I haven't played it yet, but that's on my to-do list. And then from that, I've
heard really mixed things about that one, so I'm kind of curious how
they cleaned up at the Game Awards. So
I know
I've heard really good things about it. So I want to check it out.
But I feel like the Game Awards are starting to get a little bit like the Oscars, where some of the stuff that wins, I'm not a huge fan of.
Yeah, I've heard good things about it before so have I. So I needed a palate cleanser, so I played some FIFA 18. It's FIFA 18. I haven't played the new career mode, which is supposed to be really cool.
It's just like FIFA, but
it's kind of like your single player campaign.
Right.
You're going from, I think, nobody on the streets to big boy international club team type shit.
Right.
It looks beautiful. I got it on Xbox One X.
Ooh.
Because Digital Foundry said it looked better than the PS4 version and this and that. And I'm not playing with anyone, so I don't care. I'm like, I want the best looking version. I will report back on that.
Okay,
Seems pretty
that's
good.
fair.
Tekken 7, I picked that up. I got it on PS4. There apparently is no difference on the Xbox version, and there hasn't been an update. But of course, after now that I bought it, it's probably going to be on 4K, 60 frames per second on Xbox One X.
Of course, obviously.
Not that I really care, but I don't know, it's a Tekken. That Tekken's PlayStation franchise, so that's kind of why I bought it on PlayStation.
Of course.
It's freaking awesome. I don't know why I didn't pick that up sooner. It's freaking great. It's got Akuma in it. It looks really good.
I
I
haven't played a lot of fighting games. I have played my fair share of Tekken, though. And this is the first time that I've kind of been like curious to play some more Tekken. It was
$29 Canadian, so once again, free for our American friends.
Right.
And I was just like, for $29, that's for fighting, because that's the exact same thing I said at the start of the year, right? You remember me saying,
yeah,
I want this game, but I don't need to pay $80 for it now, Because
absolutely. Well, that's
I'm not going to play it with anyone, and two, it's like it's going to be discounted by the end of the year. And look at that, $29.
It's been discounted. Yeah, exactly.
I'm like, perfect price. Injustice, I almost pulled the plug on Injustice 2, but it was $39. I'm like, nope, I'm paying $30 or less. That's drawing the line, and they never got there, so I didn't pick up Injustice 2. Though it's in my sights. When it goes on sale for the right price, I'm going to get Injustice 2. But yeah, Tekken 7's freaking great. I feel like I need to invite all the boys over so I could beat their asses down.
I've heard such good things. Like, this is just an incredible Tekken game, and just that it needs to be played. And I kind of really want to play it now.
Yeah, and what
it doesn't help listening to all the Giant Bomb guys rave about it on their Game of the Year podcast.
Oh, I haven't listened to that.
Oh yes, they go on.
Nice. So. Yeah, it's pretty freaking great. Plays great.
So yeah.
Path of Exile. Did you just play that because your wife was hogging the TV?
Well,
because that's just Diablo, isn't it?
Kind of.
We played it a few years ago, and I'm just like, this game's ugly ass. It's
beautiful. Like, it looks arguably better than Diablo does from a like just technical perspective.
I think it was early access when we started playing it, because it was an early access game that was free to play, right?
It's still free to play. Yeah.
But it's obviously 4 or 5 years later compared to when I played it. I see a lot of people on my Steam list play it.
Well, see, it's like a super deep Diablo. It's like if they took... I'm trying to think of how I would explain it. The playstyle is Diablo. Don't get me wrong. Like, it is definitely that type of game. But... So instead of having money as a currency, items are a currency. So it's like, as you play, you will get items. And as you get items, those items, you kind of want to trade back and get money for them. Like, and this was like one of the big things that threw me really like for a loop when I started playing it, is I went to, I had a full backpack full of stuff, and I went back to town, and I went to essentially sell them to this guy, and he essentially gave me back just stuff, like more items. In my case, the first few things that I traded in, he gave me what was more or less the scrolls that you use to identify items. So he gave me a bunch of those, and I was like, why is he giving me these? Like, shouldn't he be giving me money? And I realized that there isn't actually any money. There's almost like a weird barter system in the whole game. So that right there is one of the big changes that kind of threw me for a loop in that game. The second one being that everything that you do as far as like your abilities and things like that are socketed. So as you play the game, you will actually pick up what's more or less like a spell. And then if you have a spot in one of your pieces of gear, whether it's a helmet or a sword or a shield or whatever it is you're playing, you slot that into a piece of armor or gear.
Yeah, support
and
gems.
That's how... Well, that's a different thing.
Oh,
so there's spell gems, there's support gems. It's a... Like, the system gets crazy. I'm not going to lie. Like it gets
depending
super
on how
complicated.
Many sockets, you can totally change your stuff.
Oh, yeah. And not only that, but the game itself has this huge... It's more or less like a giant, crazy sphere grid on crack. Like, there's hundreds and hundreds of thousands of combinations in this sphere grid. So that's how so every time you level up, you get an ability point that you can use to unlock a thing on the sphere grid. And as you play, you get further and further away from where you started, but depending on how you set your character up in that can really have an effect, like a big effect on how your character build goes. So, like, and that's the other thing is, like, you may start off with a character that is, like, I started off with a witch, which is kind of more or less like a female mage. She is a magic user. But all that means at the beginning of the game is that she has high intelligence, which is used for casting spells and stuff, and medium dexterity and not a lot of strength. But that also doesn't mean that if I wanted and I was hardcore, that I couldn't actually work my way over in the sphere grid to something completely different than what I started with, and I could build my character totally different, which is super interesting, but also is a little bit scary because it's one of those games where you could very much run into a situation where you've built your character all wrong, and now you're hitting a certain spot in the game where you're kind of screwed yourself. You know what I mean? Like, chances are I'm never going to get, like, hardcore enough in it that that'll be a problem. So, you know, but it's such a different, it feels like such a more hardcore Diablo. Like, it feels so much more hardcore
from Diablo 2.
Yeah. Yes. It's
on Xbox One, eh? It just came out in August.
Yes.
And it's also free to play on Xbox One.
Yeah. So I'm not entirely sure, like, what the free to play hooks. They have not even remotely shown their face from my side of things yet.
It's on Steam, right? Yeah, it's on Steam.
Yep. Yeah, I downloaded it off of Steam.
It's got an 83% on Metacritic.
And, like, so what ended up happening was I just figured, hey, I'm playing Diablo 3. Wouldn't it be interesting to kind of see, like, I've heard a lot about this game for a long time. So I was kind of curious to see, like, what it would be like to play. And I figured having that experience that I just had with Diablo 3, this would be a perfect kind of opportunity to take a look at the competitor, if you will. So that's kind of why I got into it, because I just figured, why not? And I'm going to play more. It's a game where I think you could very easily lose a shitload of time. Like, real easily. Like, I get the feeling like it's, like, big time as far as that goes. But it scratches obviously the same itch as Diablo, but it is definitely a different beast. So I don't know. We'll see. As I play more, I will definitely check in with you guys and let you all know sort of how I feel about it as I continue to play more. Right now, I'm about 3 hours in, so I'm still fairly, like, for that type of game, I'm still pretty close to the beginning, kind of in that first, like, little starting area and all that kind of stuff. So it'll be curious to see, like, how I progress and whether or not that whole, what I've heard with possibly kind of running into a weird wall thing will affect me or won't affect me. Is it something that's mainly like the hardcores that run into it? Is it something that, you know what I mean? So we'll see. We'll see what happens over time with it. So
cool.
Yeah.
I played it a long time ago, but I don't have enough time for another freaking games as service demanding tons of time. Oops.
Oh, trust me, I know. It like I said, sometimes I get in weird moods and I kind of feel like playing a certain thing.
Yeah, you know, time travel back to 2013 and play old stuff.
Yeah.
I'm just breaking your balls. Obviously, you played some more Warframe. Not much.
Dude, I got my Arcwing. Fuck yeah, man. I built some shit. Got my Arcwing.
Speaking in a different language.
I know.
Means nothing to me.
I know.
But you sound excited about it.
Yeah. Worked hard for my Arcwing.
Can I build an Arcwing?
Yeah, buddy.
When I grow up.
So essentially there's levels in Warframe where the spaceship that you're, for lack of a better term, the spaceship that you're on or that you're doing the work on has a bad time and it starts to fall apart. And if you don't, ultimately these missions are locked out if you don't have an Arcwing, so you don't even get to play them if you don't have an Arcwing. And so like it's as you continue to play the game, like after your initial thing, you get a mission to build yourself an Arcwing. And so then you got to do a series of missions to find the components, and then you have to build the components to get your Arcwing going on. So in my case, I managed to do all that, and I had played a ton of the game already, so I kind of was able to, once I got the blueprints, I was able to build it fairly quickly, which was pretty cool. Because that's the thing, right? In Warframe, you got to get the blueprints, then you got to get the components, then you got to actually put it into your 3D printer to actually print the stuff out. And it takes real time. So if when it says, like, this is going to take 12 hours, it's going to take 12 hours. You're going to see that thing that you did the next day. Which is on one hand really cool, and on one hand and of course that's where their sort of free-to-play hooks kind of come in. If you want, they will, hey, if you want, you can speed this up right now.
You don't need to be in the game.
No, you don't.
It's just 12 hours.
It's just 12 hours, real-time hours.
So if you log out at night and check in the next day, it'll be done.
Exactly. So you just got to kind of think about it. If there is something that you do want to build, make sure to build it so that you have that time, right? Just be like, oh, okay, I'm going to get that to build while I leave and come back tomorrow, and it should be all done.
And what's your Arcwing? Is it a new ship, or is it like a modification for your Tenno?
It's like a jetpack for your Tenno.
Oh, so like you're all Gundam style.
Yeah, it's super cool. So certain missions, like I was saying, you have to essentially, like, the ship can't sustain the situation, and you end up having to kind of go outside. And if you don't have an Arcwing, you can't do the mission. And if you have an Arcwing...
Is it like a flying mission?
Yeah, it's super cool. You start off, like, so I've done a couple of them now. And, like, you start off inside, you're doing your mission, and then something goes wrong. Like in the ones that I've done at least so far, something goes wrong, and then they're like, crap, well, we can't extract you because it's not, like, safe or whatever.
Is it like 360-degree, like, space combat kind of thing?
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, that sounds pretty rad.
It's neat, man. It's really cool. And
is this a new mode they just added, or has this been in for a while?
It's been in for a while, but, like, it's not a mode that I was... had access to because I hadn't built myself my Arcwing yet, right? So yeah, it's super neat, and the modes are really cool. I really like it. It's a lot of fun.
Oh, I want to check that out.
Yeah, I recommend it. It's really neat.
You reminded me. You're talking about free to play.
Yep.
I played Heroes of the Storm.
Oh, nice.
I opened my winter chest.
Yep.
And I got a cool? Legendary skin.
And which one was it?
For a character I didn't have.
Yeah, I realized that when I said that, I was wrong.
That's what I was going to say. You don't get the characters.
No, I realized that as well.
I also got a legendary skin for a character I do own. I got 2 legendary skins.
You lucky bastard.
Yeah, I got one for King Leoric.
Okay, yeah.
And who was the other one now? I forget. It was one of the weird alien Zergy chicks. There's a couple of them.
Oh, okay.
Anyway,
that's sweet.
I don't have her, so because I went to go look and see, and it's like it shows me I have the skin, but I don't have her as a character.
Yeah, that sucks. In Smite, that's the way it works. So if you don't have the character but you buy the skin, then you'll get the character as well. But in this, that's not how it works. And I realized that when I said that, I was wrong, because one of the characters, I had a similar thing happen to me when I bought, or during the summer or the winter thing, I got another character, and yeah, I did not get that character once it was over, or that week was over, because it was the character that I got. I was like, oh, cool. I didn't realize I got that character. Sweet. And then I realized afterwards, I was like, wait a minute. I don't have access to that character anymore. And so it turns out that, yeah, I was wrong.
Oh, they were part of the rotation. So it looked
yeah. I didn't realize it was part of the rotation that week. So yeah, I'm not going to lie. I played way too much Heroes of the Storm over the course of my time off. I got sucked into that game hard. over the course of the holidays.
Yeah,
I don't know how it just sucked me in hard. Like I did all of my I got all of the stuff, the winter, like not all of the winter stuff, obviously, because like who's got that kind of time? But I did a ton of I got all the free winter stuff that I could.
Yeah, the quest
made
stuff
sure
that you can complete on your own.
Oh yeah, did all of that. Did a bunch of stuff. And it just kept sucking me in. I kept logging in every day, and I was like, oh, I'll just log in and play a match, and then 2 or 3 matches would go by, and
yeah, I gotta play a match because they changed so much stuff in that.
It feels like a different game now. It's great.
Well,
it's surprising how much.
The 2.0 was a huge update earlier in the year.
Yeah,
let alone where they are now.
Yeah, no, it's good, and they're all really solid changes. I'm really been impressed. And also it's so easy to find a game in that game. I never wait around for very long to get into a game, which is super nice.
Farpoint.
Yeah, that fucking game.
I meant to get back to playing it, which I haven't.
Oh, I can't play that game close to bed.
It sounded like you played through the first area or level with all the spiders. I saw your tweet.
Fuck, man.
The head crabby things.
So I don't like spiders.
Nobody
they're
likes. Who the fuck likes spiders?
I don't know.
Nobody likes spiders.
But I really don't like spiders. I don't like spiders. And yeah, I don't know if I'm finished that area necessarily, but man.
What do you mean when they're jumping and flying at you?
Oh, I was not a fan of that. Oh my God. Not a fan of that at all. My wife thought it was hilarious.
Oh, she was watching you play?
She was laughing. She thought it was so funny. I was like, this is not funny, man. Because it's so much more intense when you're in VR. So much more.
Yeah, when giant spiders are jumping at your freaking face and making creepy noises.
Exactly.
It's not fun.
No,
that's what I was saying. Fun. Eerie, gross things in VR in your face or looming over you is very unsettling.
Yes, that statement right there.
It just makes you uncomfortable. It's it's gonna jump on me. I know it's gonna jump on my face. Don't fucking jump. It jumped in my face, and now I'm fucking freaking out. God fucking damn it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's so annoying, and you know it's coming, and you're prepped for it, and there's nothing you can do about it.
And you're like, why does this bother me so much? But it does.
Yeah, it's so
it's.
How are you playing? Did you change the controls, or are you playing the default controls?
No, I changed them to the same ones that you're using. The
kind of strafing around. On your own.
Yeah. I find for me it works a little better. It gives me. I don't find I use it a ton necessarily.
You don't have to, but
no. But it's being able to have that granular control. I find is very helpful.
Yeah, because that click snapping and teleporting is no.
Yeah,
that doesn't work for me. That makes me more where am I? What's going on? More disconnected.
I didn't even see which one that was actually, the teleporting one. I didn't even realize that was an option.
I don't know if it's an option. I could just be
talking out your butt.
I can't remember the default control. I just moved it to the one that felt like you were playing a proper first-person shooter.
Yeah, that's what I did. I messed around with a couple of them, and that was the one that seemed to me to make the most sense. I was like, okay, this one here seems to be good.
Besides getting freaked out with spiders, you like it?
Oh, it's great. It's really good.
You said there was co-op on the box. I didn't realize that. We had to play that.
I know. That's what I was saying. I didn't realize there was either until my wife, I got it home and was looking at it. And I'm like, wait a minute. You mean to tell me this is 2-player? And it's yeah, 2-player. I mean, I'm assuming it's co-op, but it's 2-player, online only, obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah, and so I was like, well, shit, we're gonna have to check that out. That could be really cool.
Yeah.
Because I mean, we played, what was that one, Bravo Team?
Yeah, Bravo Team at PAX.
That was a ton of fun. I really want to, when that comes out, I definitely want to pick that up and play it as well.
I think that one was February.
Yeah, I think you're right.
And it'll be less expensive now that we have guns.
I know. Be sweet. So, and that was
Yeah.
the thing. Like, I was like, my wife's like, "Oh, are you sure you want to like the gun or whatever?" And I was like, "Yeah, gotta get the whole package." Like,
It's
I
pretty
feel like
cool.
it's
It's
gonna be worth
so
it.
cool when you're aiming down sight.
Yes,
Like-
it feels so much more like you're there, and it's a thing that you're a part
It's
of.
like I'm aiming down sight and I'm getting headshots. Like this is. It feels exactly how you like it should feel.
Yes, it feels like how you think it should feel.
Yeah, and like how like if you were looking down the sight of a gun, and yeah. Anyway, it's
Yeah, it's no, I really like it.
I wanted to play more, but
I'm definitely planning on playing a lot.
we had lots
more.
of late nights, and we had lots of. It's not. My daughter's been awesome lately, but she just likes going to bed late now.
Oh, really?
I want a book. I want to read a book. I want to read a book. I want strawberries. I'm hungry. And it's like, you're supposed to be in bed. But God damn it. Yeah, she's been protesting a little bit. With that, Dane, I'm going to say
Yeah.
we move into our news section.
Yeah, not too much news. Got a little bit.
There
though.
was more news. I cut it down a bit because some of the stuff I was like, I don't want to talk about it.
That's fair.
And I figured we had lots of games to talk about. So
We played a few games.
Yeah, just a few. I played a couple more, but I want to play them more before I talk about them. Even though some of those I barely played, but anyway.
Like I said before when we were talking about it, I also played a shitload of Smite. But
Yeah, no, I played. Obviously, I played way too much Destiny.
That's my yearly before the World Series of Smite starts. Sort of get way too pumped and playing a ton of it.
Yeah, I'm almost at level cap on Destiny, and I got mad at myself. I'm like, stop playing this goddamn game and go do something else, you fucker. That's so hard.
It's a good game though. I mean, like that was the other one that I played a shitload of.
Actually, I played with Verlin.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
nice.
we played. We did a bunch of Crucible.
Sweet. Very
and
cool.
Some other shit. So
Yeah.
Anyway, back to news and stuff.
Yeah.
Apple App Store now forces games with loot boxes to disclose item odds. This was
Sure like that.
just before. I think this dropped after, like literally, I think the day after we recorded our last episode,
Right.
and just before the holiday break. So,
Okay.
This is something that China was requiring games to do by law. But now Apple's like, yeah, all this negativity and shit, and we don't want regulation and governments and stuff messing with our freaking cash cow loot box system. So we're going to, we're going to get involved here. I don't have an iPhone.
I
My
don't
wife
either.
does, so I haven't been able to go and check this out. I don't know when this goes in effect. Does it say here?
I was gonna say, like, is that one of those things? Like, there's a certain date where they're gonna require it. Like, if you don't have it out there at this time, then we're gonna pull your game, or because that's always an interesting thing.
The in-app purchase clause. Disclosure of the honor. Doesn't say here if it's in effect now or coming.
Interesting.
Anyway, that's cool. That makes me happy. I think that is something that's long overdue. I hope the rest of the industry follows suit because I don't want 2018 to be the year that I don't want to hear about loot boxes again all year long. I want to hear about them being fixed or fucking gone. And that's all I want to hear. I'm just so sick
I have
and
a
tired
sneaky
of it.
suspicion that
It's not going to be the end of it, obviously. But
no, because I think part of the problem is, especially right now, is that there's too many games that are currently in development that are going to have loot boxes. Yeah.
And it's super lucrative, and it's super douchey, and it's super... Anyway.
Yep.
I hope the industry adopts this as a whole. At least that way people can see what's going on and double think or, take a second thought to, do I really need to buy this stupid piece of cosmetic gear that does nothing for me, but is going to put my bank account in the negatives?
Yep.
Because some people have a real problem. I don't, but Some people have a real problem, and it's just, I don't know. I hate all DLC. I'm not a fan of season passes. Obviously, I've bought them for Destiny, but that's because I put hundreds of hours in that game and I want new levels. But that's not.
It's also a little bit different in a game like that.
That's different than loot boxes. That's more game. But in general, I don't like season passes because they're not worth it. They're just a cash grab. I don't like loot boxes and cosmetic mechanics. It's all because when the sequel comes out, none of that carries over. It's all invisible trash sitting on a hard drive that you never see again.
Totally.
And it's all fake. There's no, if you unlocked everything in a game and they sent you your character 3D printed model or trophy or statue or something cool that went along with collecting all this fake bullshit.
Yep.
Then maybe, just maybe, there's the smallest possibility that then maybe I could get hooked into it. But it's all for naught. It's just a waste.
You could get hooked into it.
It's a waste of money. It's just a waste.
It is.
It's, at the end of the day, it does nothing for you. It doesn't make you money. It no one sees it. Your e-peen does not get you any street cred. It doesn't make you cooler at the club. It doesn't get you into E3. It doesn't make you better than the next guy. If anything, it's usually negative stuff is connected to it. You've wasted a lot of money, a lot of time, maybe some of your health. So that stuff, it's all bullshit. So I hate it all. So anyway,
Fair enough.
I hope this stuff expands and more companies. I hope Microsoft and them follow suit and say, yep, you guys got to put odds. And you have to put a running total in the top corner so people know how much money they spent. It's doubtful because they obviously are making bank off of the whales and idiots spending money on this stuff. Sorry if I'm offending anyone out there. I'm one of these idiots, for some stuff, but I don't know. Anyway, that's why I get so mad because it's all, at the end of the day, it's all freaking virtual goods, which is all bullshit. May as well just either send me your money if you want it to disappear or go invest in Bitcoin.
Yeah.
If you want to waste money on make-believe things.
Some people might argue about that right now, but I think
full
it's
disclosure,
just a smart thing to do.
own some Bitcoin, so.
All right.
Next story. Fuck loot boxes. Good job, Apple. Man, you guys are so ahead of everyone. You guys make the best stuff. 4 years later, Destiny's Music of the Spheres has leaked. Obviously, I put this story in here because you might not know this about me, but I really like Destiny.
No.
And,
are you sure?
Before Destiny 1 came out, and during Halo, Marty O'Donnell was Bungie's big composer. I think he scored all the Halo games up until 4 or 5 or something like that.
Okay, yeah.
And he originally scored Destiny 1, but I think before Destiny 1 came out, he was actually fired. And
I remember this thing.
I don't know if we talked about this on the podcast because it might have been before we started recording the podcast that this all went down. The resolution of it all we may have talked about, and this is kind of unrelated to the story that I'm talking about, but he consequently sued them and won and was awarded a bunch of money.
Right.
Besides the point, he made a symphonic composition soundtrack for Destiny that was supposed to release when Destiny 1 came out. But obviously, with all the drama that happened with him leaving the company and this and that, it was never released. And anyway, it over the weekend or around, when was it? Christmas Day is the date of this story. So it was
Merry Christmas.
It was a Merry Christmas present. Someone posted on SoundCloud, and if you followed the links or went to the Destiny Reddit, it didn't take you very long, for a guy that I know, for him to have found the soundtrack. And it's pretty freaking good.
Really?
It's really freaking good. And obviously it's Destiny fucking music, so
So you're in love with it, obviously.
It's pretty freaking rad. Well, my friend tells me it's really rad. He downloaded it,
okay.
and he told me.
Got it.
Yeah,
got it.
he let me listen through his earbuds. He gave me one of them, and he's like, "Here, check this out, man. This is the dope shit." Yeah, that's kind of a cool story. Marty O'Donnell's pretty happy about it.
Really?
Yeah, because
I guess that makes
it's
sense.
something he poured his life and
Into.
blood, sweat, and tears into, and it never saw the light of day.
Right.
It was it's an awesome soundtrack, and it's no one gets to hear it. How frustrating is that? They had a bunch of copies that during promotion before the game came out that they gave to some people. I guess.
Really?
I don't know if those were coworkers or media or whatnot, but regardless, someone finally ripped it and put it on the internet. That's a kind of neat story. I thought that was cool.
I wonder if it'll stay up on the internet.
You might have seen this on your local news. My wife's like, if you have
Do
this...
I watch the news?
My wife's like, if you have this, we're getting a divorce. She said, grinningly and laughing.
Really?
I'm not going to go in depth, but apparently the World Health Organization is classifying gaming disorder in their draft of disorders. So it's not... I think it's not actually in it as a disorder, but they're drafting it, which means potentially it's going to be considered a disorder.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it made a lot of... it was on my local news. It was on CNN.
Really?
Read the link in the podcast notes if you want to get more information of it.
Do you have gaming disorder?
By how they describe, how they kind of... I'm just going to lightly go over this. The way they kind of explain it is that...
This article is long.
Yeah, it's long, but the gist of it is that you prioritize playing video games over real life responsibilities. So you're not eating, or you're not taking care of your hygiene, or you're negatively impacting work or school or your relationships or whatnot. And the only thing you think about is games. All you want to do is game. And to be honest, some of that stuff is I'm like that. I'm thinking about as soon as I kick the kid into bed, I'm running to the office to go play some vids. Or, okay, I made the wife happy. I did all the laundry. I did all this. I do that. I'm going to go play. But I'm doing the stuff. So I'm not ignoring my responsibilities, but I definitely do have the cravings of, and I think most...
You would sometimes like to maybe, set aside some of those responsibilities.
Yeah, I think most of us have that. You're dying to play a game, but it's that balance of whether you, you take care of your shit, right? We're human beings, we're adults. Well, I'm a 13-year-old trapped in a 40-plus-year-old man's body, but I take care of my shit, then I play my games.
Yeah.
And sometimes I get really bad. When Destiny 2 came out, I was really bad for a couple weeks, and it's and I know when these stints are going to happen, and I tell my wife, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to be freaking like a crackhead for a little while. Be patient with me. Let me know when I'm getting a little too much, so that you don't feel neglected or hurt. But I have this conversation
with my wife, it's not worth my life.
Oh, absolutely not. And that's the important thing is see, I recognize I have a problem sometimes, but I communicate, right?
Yep, absolutely.
So, but then I also don't let it get to the point where it's I'm missing work, I'm failing tests, I'm not showering for 6 days at a time. I'm, pissing in a bucket at the side of my... obviously exaggerating there, but you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
And to be honest, I could...
There was times when I was younger, man, where I definitely... I would kind of blink at a certain point in the evening and realize oh man, I haven't eaten dinner yet, and it's 11 o'clock at night, and I need to probably do that. I've definitely been there. I honestly am surprised that it has taken this long to get here, because to be honest, I think there is a gaming disorder. Yeah. But it's like anything. It's like a gambling disorder or a drug disorder. Too much of anything is bad for you, is the gist of it. No, right? I agree with that.
We talk about video games. We play lots of video games, but we have a lot of other responsibilities. We have jobs,
absolutely.
we have wives.
We're still going to work. We're still doing all that stuff,
And that's where it gets a little frustrating because sometimes, like you said, we want to shirk the responsibility and be like, I ain't doing shit. I'm going to go play video games. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's why I wish I could win the lottery, right?
Oh, I'd be terrible if I won the lottery.
And just give in to the disorder.
Yeah, or at least a little bit more from time to time, for sure. Yeah. Anyway. Interesting. Wow. Well, that's, yeah, I don't disagree with your statement about I'm sort of surprised it took this long in a weird way. Because and like you said, for some people, it's definitely a lot worse than for others. I've definitely known a few people in my life that I kind of went like, whoa, man, are you okay? Like, do we need to, there's definitely,
when World of Warcraft launched, I full on had gaming disorder.
Yeah.
12 hours a day. I was doing all the negative stuff. I wasn't leaving the house.
It's funny that you mentioned that because
that was probably the pinnacle of where I was the worst.
Yeah, I had a very good friend of mine that during the World of Warcraft stuff that went down, I remember one particular instance of like, hey man, we're all gonna go like catch a movie. Do you want to like come with us? And he was like, sorry man, we're doing a raid tonight and we're just getting ready to go. And I said I was gonna be here and I can't. And we were all like, okay, that's all right. Well, you do what you got to do.
Yeah.
And the funniest part about it was that when we got home from the film, he hadn't even started the raid yet.
Because they were still working.
They were still all working on who was going to do what and where was going to go where and everything else. And I think he finally finished the raid at around 3 a.m. or something. No, it was later than that. It was insane anyways. But I definitely kind of remember going like, oh man, I hope like this works out okay.
Yeah.
In the end.
There were some real dark times when I was playing World of Warcraft.
Yeah. So
that being
I think
said,
we've all kind of been there a little bit.
Yeah, that being said, take care of yourself. Balance your shit. Don't ignore your family or your loved ones.
Yeah.
Go to the ballet. Go get something to eat. Have fun.
Do what you got to do.
Yeah, there's a real world out there.
That there is. Sometimes I wish there wasn't, but
and I didn't realize I had this out of order. But anyway, hey, more Destiny 2 news.
What?
PSN outed the details of the next expansion.
I heard about this.
God of Mars. I guess
kind
apparently
of exciting, actually.
Coming out in March. It
seems really soon. Like they seem to really be pumping these things out.
As the name implies, it takes place on Mars.
No.
So obviously it's going to be a new destination, new strike, new weapons, new. Apparently there's a new enemy faction and bosses. So
really,
this is interesting.
That's huge because, I mean, we got a whole nother game and didn't get a new enemy faction.
Yeah. Anyway, it has to do with Clovis Bray and Rasputin the Warmind. So, seems.
I remember Rasputin. There was a couple missions.
Yeah,
in the first game with Rasputin, right?
Yeah, it was. Anyway, so there's some details about that. Obviously, we're going to get more over time, but. Destiny is in a little bit of a state of unease with the fans. I imagine
it's in a weird spot. I feel like
Bungie's going to be coming out with some updates and changes in this and that, so it's going to be a while before we hear about that. But cool. I'm going to guess. I'm going to say this now. I'm going to guess next year. Within the next year. I'm going to say all the locations that were in Destiny 1 are going to be in Destiny 2.
Really?
Yeah, so like there isn't going to be a Destiny 3 this September, right?
Nope.
I feel like the next big expansion after the second expansion is basically going to be all the places from Destiny 1 reworked, modified, updated, and new stuff. But like, you'll be able to go to the other part of Earth. You'll be able to go back to the moon and stuff like that.
Okay, yeah. That's what I was going to ask.
So like, essentially, like, Destiny 1 will be Destiny 2.
So you're going to go back to Mars, but it's not going to be the same place that you were on before.
No, this is going to be new.
Part
but
of Mars.
I feel like all of Destiny 1, location-wise, remixed and probably remastered and updated and whatnot. I feel like at some point, all of Destiny 1 is going to be pulled into Destiny 2. Just saying. I have a feeling.
I could see that happening.
Which is not a bad thing. Which is not a bad thing.
It's a smart move for them, and it's
one huge expansion to your game.
Yeah, and they've also got, in a weird way, they've already got the assets from all of those.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Locations.
Why not?
So I mean, they could reuse them, and it makes sense. So I could see them doing that.
We'll see. We'll write this one down, and one day I'll be like, "I told you, kids."
Yeah,
I called it.
Yeah.
PUBG hits 3 million concurrent players. 3 million concurrent players.
And I still haven't played it.
Breaking its own record and basically going, "What's up, Dota? What's up? I took your shit."
I think
crazy.
Left Dota a while ago, didn't they?
The most Dota's had is 1.29. So
right.
Yeah, they've squashed Dota. They're consistent. It's consistently the most played game.
Not in the world, but on Steam, right? Worldwide on Steam?
On Steam, but I would assume that applies. I don't know what console concurrent player numbers are like, but I don't think they're that high.
Well, you got to remember...
But I don't know.
You've got League, which we don't know what their concurrents are, because Riot doesn't say, but I've heard they're real high.
I'd imagine they were...
They don't tout that.
I'd imagine they'd probably
the biggest
be
game in the world.
I'd imagine they'd be double Dota numbers, but... This is insane. This game is just no sign of slowing down. Speaking of which, I left it off the outline. I played some PUBG. I played the new map.
And?
It's pretty cool. Still an awesome game. And an infuriating game.
Yeah.
I got ran over by a car. I wasn't very happy.
Rico got run over by some car.
Yeah. Fucking came around a corner because I'm not too familiar with the map, and it's like, fuck. I got nowhere to go, and this guy's just got a perfect beat on me. Nowhere to hide. Like, I tried shooting him and like going off to the side, but no. Thunk. I just was...
And thus ended your PUBG night.
But it was pretty dope. I killed a couple guys, so...
Nice.
I feel like it plays a little bit better. It's the 1.0 release, so there's tons of changes. You can do the vaulting over stuff and getting on top of stuff, which is quite game changing.
I heard some people on Twitter talking about the updated... Apparently they changed the entire physics system in that game and reworked all of it. And a lot of people were complaining because it didn't feel at all like PUBG anymore, and they're pretty choked about it.
I didn't know. I didn't feel like it felt much different.
It was pretty interesting because it kind of surprised me, because it's like, what on earth are you thinking if that's the case?
Yeah,
like,
that doesn't sound right.
You know what I mean?
I didn't notice any change except for that I could climb over fences and shit.
Right. You might not also be hardcore enough.
Dude, I'm fucking hardcore. I've got gaming disorder. I'm fucking hardcore. Speaking of PUBG, Lawbreakers publisher Nexon blames basically the flop of which was Lawbreakers on PUBG. They took a whopping $32.6 million write-off.
Wow.
The game's player count is double digits right now.
I actually heard about that. I heard that.
Yeah.
Last I had heard that people were seeing like 50, 60 players playing. I don't know if that's on PC, right? Because it was only a PC game.
No, I'm pretty sure it came out on consoles, but I'm pretty sure it didn't do very well there. To be honest, I'm surprised that I haven't heard about the studio closing down. Because
I'm wondering kind of what
the abysmal, and I'm
wondering what the plan is with it. Is the plan to were they thinking maybe we can support it and push ahead with some maybe if we push some updates out?
I have no idea what their messaging's like. I have no idea what's going on.
Kind of pull a Rainbow Six Siege where it kind of came out. Game was kind of abysmal, but then after patches and after the game not sucking for a while,
I think in that game's most abysmal shape, it had tens of thousands of players.
Right.
Lawbreakers topped out at 7,700 or 7,400 players.
I think that announcing that you're probably going to be free to play and then not releasing as a free to play game was not a great idea.
The problem with this game is not PUBG. The problem with this game is it had very poor direction. It had poor marketing. I did not like the art style at all. It was a solid, fast Twitch shooter, but nobody's really looking for that. The characters don't even compare to Overwatch characters in terms of likability. And none of the characters in that game I want a t-shirt with. I don't want a toy or a figure of any of them. They're all ugly. And the gravity mechanic was it was a mechanic, but it wasn't
well, I feel like it had the potential to be really neat.
It was
but
just
it never really.
There's a gravity field here that fucks shit up because we have nothing else. So let's just do some weird thing here. It really didn't amount to making the game that different. It just, I don't know. It wasn't a bad game, but it wasn't a good game either. It was just a game. It was a competent. Shooter.
And I think that right now, with everything that was going on, especially in that space, you can't release a game.
No, you can't release a game that
okay.
isn't. No.
You have to release a game that is fucking great.
You have to release something that is at the very least, minimally as good as Overwatch. And they didn't do that.
No, and yeah. If anything, I almost want to say Overwatch ate more of its lunch than anything. I don't think PUBG
I think
did.
even if this game came out back when Unreal Tournament was in its heyday, I don't think this game would have done well. I don't know.
It's weird. There's parts of that game that I think were really unique, and it felt good. Like the being able to shoot behind you mechanic and stuff like that was really neat. But it was weird. I didn't, for a game that Cliffy B and those guys were trying to build to sort of bring back that old school shooter vibe, it felt too slow and plodding and not I felt like Titanfall felt closer to what those old Twitch shooters felt like than that game did. And when you're trying to harken back to what Quake 2, I want to bring back the hardcore PC shooter. If you're not going to make a game that feels like one of those, then what's the point?
Yeah, I didn't like it from the first. I'm meh from the first beta. I was meh when I saw it at PAX. I was meh when I saw it at E3. And the entire time I was this game's not going to do good. Like you said, starting as a potentially free-to-play, changing direction halfway through. Yeah, that game just had some issues, and
I don't know if they just got feet on the free to play stuff.
I'm not happy that the game's flopped. I don't want anyone's jobs to disappear. I don't want the game to flop, but it's they should have been able to identify earlier that this was just. They should have pulled the plug or gone back to the drawing board, and they should have been able to identify that. I don't know if it was just a company of yes men. It was yes, Cliffy, yes, Cliffy, yes, Cliffy. Or he was just too busy driving around in his freaking Lamborghini with his hot wife making Instagram videos.
Well, I don't think that because I'm sure he put a bunch of his own money into it. I don't think that you can just go to anybody and say I think this would be cool.
I think he was banking off his name in Gears of War, and Nexon funded the whole thing.
Yeah, it's possible. I don't know. But I mean, I know he didn't
from his
want
Twitter and Facebook and Instagram, he lives quite lavishly. So He's not
Well,
hurting
of course,
by any
he's
means.
not exactly. He can afford to be. You know what I mean? Like,
Anyway,
he can
whatever.
very much afford to be.
That's all aside. It's too bad the game flip-flopped. Because he ain't the one who's going to pay for it.
No, of course not.
It's everyone else in the studio. That's enough for news. Let's get into public service announcements. New games for gold were announced just over the break after our last episode for Xbox. If this link would ever load, you'd think I had fast internet.
No, I heard it's pretty slow over on your side there.
It must be.
You should get fiber, dude.
It must be Xbox's site because everything else is working. What the hell? Is that link open for you?
Let's see here.
The PlayStation link opened right away.
Games for gold.
I just went to their Xbox, to their YouTube. Anyway, Games for Gold January is The Incredible Adventures of Van Helsing 3 and Zombie. Those are both Xbox One,
Right.
and then for 360 and back compat.
Wait, is that the zombie?
Yeah,
like, the Wii U game?
Yep,
Oh,
which was
okay.
a PlayStation Plus game at some point.
Right.
I think on
by the way,
I think
no,
on-
that website seems to be.
I think on PS3. 360 owners and back compat is Tomb Raider Underworld and Army of Two.
that is a strange thing that you just said.
What?
Tomb Raider Underworld.
Yeah,
I realize that it's a 360 game, but that's an old game.
2008, my friend.
Wow.
Yeah, it's kind of a meh lineup.
Yeah, like
I
that
own
was-
Zombie on Wii U, and I didn't quite get very far. PlayStation Plus actually has a good lineup.
Yeah, this is a solid.
It's pretty
lineup.
solid, actually. Deus Ex: Mankind Divided, which came out last. No, it wasn't this year. It was last year. Pretty good game sequel to Deus Ex. I can't remember the tagline on the first one, but that's a good game. And then Batman, the Telltale series, which we talked about earlier.
Yeah.
As well as Sacred 3 on PlayStation 3. I don't care about the Book of Unwritten Tales 2. Don't know what that is. Psycho Pass Mandatory Happiness. PS Vita cross-buy with PS4. I have no idea what these games are. Uncanny Valley, PlayStation Vita, also cross-buy with PS4. So those are also PS4 titles.
Right.
Warframe, you can get a booster pack.
I wish that was on the PC
100
version, 'cause that
platinum
would be
and
so
50,000 credits. Dual pistols, obsidian skin, 3D affinity booster.
It sucks that that's not for the PC because that would be so sweet.
And I feel like there's something else in here, which is in the small type. Star Blood Arena. It's not. It's
VR.
VR.
Yeah.
January 2nd through March 6th. So that's the arena.
Oh, I've already purchased.
Anyway.
Isn't that the one by the makers of Super Stardust?
I have no idea.
I want to say that's from those guys.
I don't know. From Housemark?
Or maybe I'm wrong.
No, it's San Diego Studio.
Okay.
Yeah, no. Anyway, that's a free PSVR game, so that's pretty sweet.
Heck
So yeah, a much better lineup. No, Sony did not pay us to do that. No, don't accuse us of being Sony fanboys. It's pure fact. That games.
Hey man, in my opinion, I agree with that statement.
all
that it is a
free,
better
all
lineup.
all free games are good. Gran Turismo Sport Patch went live. That includes basically the campaign update kind of mode or whatever. And
Right.
some different changes to Gran Turismo League, new cars. I haven't had a chance to go back to that because that sounds kind of cool. So
Interesting.
That's live now. That went live just before Christmas, I believe. And that's it for public service announcements. Free for all.
Yeah.
I was screwing around over Christmas break with something called Moonlight.
I saw you post something about this.
I was like,
curious.
man, I should be able to stream my PC games to my phone. Like, why not? That sounds like it's possible, right?
Right.
Anyway, basically what it is, it's an open source NVIDIA game stream client. So it treats your phone as if you had an NVIDIA Shield tablet.
Interesting. Okay.
Obviously, if you have an NVIDIA card in the NVIDIA GeForce Experience app, you can stream to other PCs. But one of the big thing they tout is being able to stream your games to your Shield devices, hooked up to, the NVIDIA Shield 4K, stream games in 4K to, like, say, your TV in the living room, though your beefy PC's in the basement, right?
Right.
And or to just the NVIDIA Shield tablet, and use a controller. Anyway, this open source just basically ties into that. You see all your games on your computer, you click on it, and it streams in 1080p 60 and looks freaking amazing and plays awesome. It's super cool.
Actually, though?
Yeah. There's a couple hiccups because obviously you're on Wi-Fi, but I was playing Destiny 2 using an Xbox controller just plugged into my cell phone. No added drivers or software or anything. It just plug it in and it works. You have to have an OTG cable. Which is like a mini. Is it mini USB or is micro USB is the common plug, right? That they all have. What's the charger on your phone and my phone? No, yours has USB-C.
So. I've got USB-C, but you're thinking of micro.
Yeah,
USB
so it's a micro USB to basically a USB,
like full size
USB plug, and then from there you can plug in a cord into your controller.
Right.
Anyway, and it just works. It recognizes a controller. It works with a DualShock 4 or an Xbox One controller. And yeah, I was playing Destiny 2 in the kitchen, streaming from my PC in the office. Apparently it works over the internet when you're away from home, but I haven't had a chance to mess with port forwarding and stuff for that.
Oh, right. Yeah. Okay. Because that could get a little bit messy.
I imagine at work, at the office on our fast internet, it would work well. I imagine it would be shit on Wi-Fi or on 3G or LTE. Just because the latency would probably be too much. But like, remember a couple weeks ago when I reported that remote play, from my house to fast internet anywhere is like amazing.
Right. Which it should be because you've got stupid fast internet at home.
Yeah, I've got stupid upload on my fiber. So I haven't had a chance to play with that yet because I was like, oh man, I want to just check in and do some, on a break, have a quick Crucible round or do, some of the grindy stuff, your weeklies on Destiny. And, anyway, that was pretty fun. Yeah. So it's called Moonlight. It's open source. It uses the game stream, functionality from, the NVIDIA GeForce Experience. So you have to have an NVIDIA
I was just gonna say,
card.
so you got to have an NVIDIA card.
I think you must, because I don't think the GeForce Experience works with AMD stuff. And
no, it does not.
There's a Chrome plugin, so you can even do it through Chrome. So if you want to do it on another PC, it's just a simple Chrome plugin you install.
That's pretty cool.
That's where they're spending the majority of their dev time on. Yeah, it worked great. It was cool. I'm like super impressed. I posted a picture. I think I posted I posted a picture on Twitter. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I figured, and then I got in the rabbit hole that there's Steam in-home streaming apps, and then this one is open source. And this isn't the only one. There's other ones too, right? This one seemed to be the highest rated one, or had the most positive buzz around it.
Right. Interesting. I wonder if there's something that ties into the AMD one then.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how that AMD stuff works for in-home streaming, because you've got the Steam in-home streaming, which you've talked about in the past, which is like streaming from one PC to another using a Steam client. Mm-hmm. Which, obviously that's basically aimed at you streaming from your beefy PC to your laptop, which potentially could be hooked up to a TV, or a Steam Link is the other. That's the main thing that's designed for.
Right.
And that works great when you're in home, obviously. So yeah, there's multiple ways to stream games, but anyway, yeah, I played with that. That was fun.
That's cool, man. Like I said,
my bro bought a Google Home for my mom for Christmas.
Oh,
a Mini.
Yeah.
I may or may not.
How does she like it?
I may or may not have bought a Google Home for myself.
I thought you already had an Alexa.
I had an Alexa. I showed that bitch the door.
You sent your Alexa back.
I took it back. Yeah.
So as somebody who's used both, what sold you more on the Google one?
It just integrates better with all the stuff I have. I like the Alexa a lot. It sounds better than the Google Home. It has way better range. Like, it works across my house.
Yep.
It has 7 microphones. It better frickin' work better.
Was it significantly more money?
Nope, same price on sale. They were both on sale over the holidays. I think they're both back to their regular prices, like $179.
Okay,
they were down to 100 Canadian.
Right.
Both of them. But it's not as good as getting answers off the internet. The Google Home beats it there.
Right. I would kind of expect that.
It can't control any of the Chromecast stuff. Google Play Music. Of
course, it's got its own thing.
Google Play Music is 1,000 times better, has way better content than Amazon Music. And that could just be because Amazon Music literally just launched weeks ago in Canada, and music stuff licensing hasn't gone through. Maybe it'll catch up.
So that's interesting. These are things that I was curious about because I currently pay for a Google Music subscription.
I do not, but I was added to someone's family plan, so now I have it.
Fair enough.
And Google Play Music has all the new shit. Like, it had the new Eminem album, day and date. It has the new Last Jedi soundtrack. None of this stuff was on Alexa. I don't have any smart plugs or thermostats or some of the stuff that people rant and rave about Alexa having compatibility with, but Google Home has that same compatibility with, like, the Philips Hue lights and Nest thermometers. So I guess in the States, it's one of those, it's been out there longer, so they have better skills and better music and content, but, like, I don't know. I don't have a Fire Stick TV. I'm not going to get one because I have Chromecast, and most people in the world have Chromecast. Fire Stick didn't really... I don't think it was available for one in Canada until recently, and 2...
Is it even yet?
I don't know. Anyway, and Chromecast is more established. There's the 4K version, the regular version, the Chromecast audio. The big thing is after doing some digging and seeing that Alexa's never going to get Chromecast support.
Right.
Like, I can talk to my Google Home, and I'm like, hey, Google, play Eminem in the kitchen. And because I have my house zoned out. Like, I shared pictures in the story, a year and a half ago or something on the podcast?
We talked about it on the podcast.
My poor man's Sonos system that I rigged up in my house with a cheap amplifier connected to in-ceiling speakers connected to Chromecast audios. So I've created multi-zone audio in my home for way cheaper than having a bunch of Sonos speakers. And also, to be honest, with much more functionality, because on my phone, I just cast anything to any room and there's no limit. I'm not tied to any type of music platform. I'm tied to whatever app has casting features, right?
Yep.
So it worked really well, except for I got to pull my phone out, click, 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 click. And obviously that is not hard. And I could do that using the Google Assistant on my phone. But what's cooler than just talking to your freaking house and doing it? So that works really well. The only thing I don't like about that is you can't control the volume because it's essentially just sending a stream to your Chromecasts. So you have to adjust the volume on... You just pull
Is that on your phone?
Yeah, you just pull up the app if you need to adjust the volume. So it's not a big deal. But when you're actually playing it physically on music on the Google Home itself, the mini or the full one, You say volume up and down, and the volume goes up and down because it's controlling itself, right? But when it's casting to one of your Chromecast devices, you can tell it to stream stuff to your Chromecast, and it just, like I said, play Punisher on my living room TV, and it
it just does it.
Started playing Punisher. I had to turn my TV on and switch the input because my Chromecast is going through my amplifier because I have. When I built the home, I built 5.1 audio into my living room, so like I have in-wall speakers and stuff. So it's going through an amplifier. I don't have it directly to my TV. But I think if I hooked it, I'm thinking I might have to get one of the Chromecast Ultras and plug it right into my TV, and then I think it would be able to turn the TV on.
I see. Okay.
But then I think I might. I think I might lose. I might lose the functionality of being able to output audio to my surround sound. So I don't know.
I see.
Because I have a 4K TV, but I don't have a 4K Chromecast. I have the older one.
This is the problem with all of that.
And then
stuff,
my Netflix and my TV's 4K because my TV's 4K, but my TV doesn't use Android TV. Now, had my TV been an Android one or a Chromecast one, then it would turn on through the Google Home, which is kind of neat. But whatever, I wasn't expecting to be able to talk to it and have it turn on my TV and all that shit. That's getting a little too intense.
Right.
But
okay.
Again,
that makes sense.
The Alexa can't talk to Chromecasts, period. So, at least I could queue up the show and I just have to turn the TV on.
Right.
That instead of doing 5-10 button presses to go to the input, go to Netflix, click on Punisher, I just freaking tell it I just have to hit one power button. It's quite an improvement. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's sweet.
And then, of course, I'm Android, so clearly I'm heavily entrenched with Google.
That makes sense.
I like
because I made this joke when you bought the Alexa. I was like,
you did, and
bought
Nelson
the Alexa, but you have all of Google's stuff.
My buddy Nelson, after listening to the podcast, basically was calling me out and giving me shit too. And the Alexa's great. I think if I was in the US and had more of Amazon stuff, and if Amazon Music was better,
right?
I do like the sound quality better on the Alexa, and I do like the range better. Like I have the Alexa or the Google Home set up in my living room on the mantle of the fireplace. And I'm like, I got to move it somewhere else. It's just because I was in the kitchen and it couldn't hear me, and I'm like, that's annoying. But that's okay. I have a desk. I'm going to put it on in the kitchen because I don't really need it in the living room. Because the cool thing is, like, I really like though that I can use my big stereo. Like it's sending the audio to my Chromecast and I'm hearing it on my good stereo.
Right.
Because regardless of how good the Alexa is, my big stereo
sounds way better.
Blows the fucking Alexa out of the water.
Yeah.
My in-home speakers in my different zones and rooms around the house blow the Alexa and the Google Home away. I did order a mini as well for the office. But I don't know when I'm going to get that. They were on sale for $39. I ordered that from the Google store. I'm probably not going to get it for a couple weeks. I will say the mini up until half volume, in a decent sized room sounds good. I wouldn't say it sounds awesome. Once it starts getting too loud, it doesn't sound very good.
So, I've heard that once it starts getting a little too loud, it kind of gets crackly and not awesome.
It sounds great at half volume and below as some ambient music, and it sounds good. And it's pretty cool. Like, even if you don't have Google Play Music, they have a good selection of music, because I was like, play Christmas music. And their Christmas playlist was really good. To be honest, I think it was better than the Christmas playlist that Alexa was playing. Even though that was a good Christmas list. And if you're not familiar with this stuff, if you don't subscribe to one of the music subscription services, you can say, play Eminem. And it'll play Eminem, but it won't. You can't just say, play Eminem Stan. Because you don't subscribe to a music service. It'll play like the Eminem radio station, which is Eminem and like similar
stuff. So it's going to be, some of it might be Eminem, some of it might be other stuff.
For the most part, most of it'll all be Eminem, but they might mix in some stuff of other rappers he's rapped with or whatever, right?
Right.
But when you actually pay for the music subscriptions for both services, the Alexa and the Home, you can specify play an exact song you want to hear if it's on there. And for the most part, it'll play it, or play this whole album, and it'll play that album.
That's pretty cool.
That's the whole reason you pay for this stuff, right? You get access to these giant libraries.
That's really
as
an
cool.
Amazon Prime member, I get Prime Music now.
Yeah, and so do we.
For free.
And like using it for a while, it's like, to be honest, they didn't have any of this crap. They don't have very good, because I was looking at the charts and comparing the charts, and it's like, hey, you don't have any of these albums from this year, whereas Google Play had like all the top like rap and hip hop albums from this year, and Amazon had none. They had ancient stuff, but nothing new.
Okay. I mean, for me, it's one of those things where, is it worth me paying for both? I mean,
no, it definitely is not. We just have Prime because of the discount on diapers. Obviously,
I have Prime for like free shipping and their TVs. You know, I can watch
their pre-order discount on video games. I take advantage of that. Right? Honestly, I think I buy all my video games through Amazon now because they're just cheaper.
Right.
Like I don't have any allegiance to anyone. When Best Buy used to do a lot of their $10, $20 stuff, but they've really cut back on that. And they're terrible for getting me stuff on release day. So I quit buying stuff through Best Buy. In the States, it might be a different story, but in Canada, they stink. Like, I don't care if I want a game, I want it on release day.
One.
I don't want to pay full price and get it 2 days later. Like, F off.
Because at that point, you could have just gone to the store and done that.
Yeah. Or I could get it on Amazon for $20 plus off and get it release day. And sometimes get it before release day.
Yeah.
Because their shipping is so crazy.
I know. I don't know how.
Anyway, I'm pretty happy with the Google Home. Alexa went back home. And I'm waiting for my Mini, and it's pretty cool. I got to literally just got it. I got to teach my wife how to use it, but.
Right. Yeah, there's no way. My wife is like there's no way she wants the government listening in onto everything that we do in our house.
If she doesn't, you can mute it, so.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool, I must say.
Yeah.
I watched a ton of movies over the break.
Yeah. Did you see anything good?
Not really.
Oh.
No, I saw some good stuff. I saw Star Wars again.
Yeah, I heard.
Definitely liked it. Definitely liked it more the second time.
Interesting. Okay.
Like the stuff that bugged me a lot less.
Yeah.
And the stuff I loved even more the second time. That movie gets better with rewatching it.
I've thought about that movie a lot more. A lot more since I've seen it the first time, but we don't need to get into it all.
No, I don't want to. We talked about it lots.
But yeah, it's just funny how that movie kind of, the more I've thought about it, I think the more I actually like it.
Oh, absolutely. The farther removed I got from it after watching it, I liked it more. And then watching it again, I liked it more. The stuff I thought it was like problematic was really just me being overcritical. And, that hype of seeing the next movie, right?
Oh, for sure.
So anyway, I did watch Bright on Netflix. Did you manage to watch that?
Oh, I haven't watched that yet.
Okay. Bright, for anyone who doesn't know, I'm going to wrap this up quick because we're getting a little long in the tooth. But anyway, Bright is a Netflix exclusive. Will Smith, Netflix, here's our, attempt at a summer kind of blockbuster.
Sort of.
Not quite like the $100-200 million summer blockbuster, but this is a little more than just the Netflix exclusive series. We're big actors, big money, special effects, so forth.
I hear they spend quite a bit on it, so I mean,
anyway,
there's that.
The gist of it is it's an alternative Earth where there was a big historic event, the Dark Lord, a very bad thing in the past. the orcs sided with the Dark Lord. The elves and the humans overcame the Dark Lord and like sealed him away or banished him or killed him or whatever. And it's a little bit of it's elves, orcs, magic, and modern day Los Angeles,
modern day stuff, right?
Guns, gangsters,
Such a
and
weird concept.
So it's a little heavy-handed with the comparing orcs and Black Lives Matter and racial tension in America and all that kind of stuff. So some people got really caught up in that and saying it's like they handled it shitty. Some people thought it was okay. Whatever. I don't even want to fucking talk about that. It's basically Training Day plus Bad Boys meets Lord of the Rings light.
Interesting.
You know, the orcs are basically, they're essentially kind of like lower class immigrants doing all the crappy jobs that the humans don't want to do. The elves are like high society, the 1%ers. They're super rich. They essentially control everything. And the humans are kind of like in between.
Right. Okay.
Will Smith is teamed up with his partner, buddy. They don't really go into what happened to his last partner.
He did.
I don't think they really go into it at all.
Oh, okay.
I might have glossed over it. And he's assigned, it's like a PR publicity thing. I can't remember his name, but his new partner, because I watched this.
His new partner.
This literally came out like the night before we went on holiday. So I saw it the night it came out. His teammate is an orc. And he's the first
on like the
orc,
force, right?
Yeah, first orc cop in his name's
like LA or
his
whatever.
name's Nick. That's his name. And in LA. So it's kind of like the forces, you know, you got to have an orc. This guy went through training, this and that, but nobody wants him because nobody really likes orcs because, you know, everyone's still pissed off about him for what they did 2,000 years ago, right?
Blah, blah, blah,
it's like, it's got hints of like, you know, Holocaust stuff and then obviously segregation. It touches on some touchy stuff, but it's not black and white per se because, you know, it's orcs and humans, right?
Right.
But the orcs are like the minority and nobody likes them. But it's not that they just don't like them because they look different. It's like they did this really bad thing and no one's over it, right?
Right. Even though it happened
thousands of years ago, it's still like a huge bad mark on their race, right? And you know, they're just trying their best and it's LA, seems like if you aren't an elf, you're barely floating above water, middle class, and everything below that. And it's gangsters, like kind of like Bloods and Crips almost. And like I said, Training Day meets Bad Boys. It meets Lord of the Rings light.
I definitely want to check it out. It sounds like something right up my alley.
It's a neat world they set up. People debate Will Smith's performance. I thought he was fine. He's Will Smith in a cop gun movie. It's the Will Smith we all know and like.
Sounds like Will Smith.
There's some stuff in it that I didn't like, but overall, I liked it. I was entertained. I really liked the world and the setup. They totally left it. It concludes well, and they left it open for a sequel. And when it finished, I'm like, man, I really want to know more about this world. I want to see more in this world.
Yeah.
And basically what I'm talking about it is like first day back from holidays and Netflix is like, yeah, we're making a sequel.
Wow.
Yeah.
They didn't even mess around.
No,
they're just like, yeah, that's happening.
It is the most watched movie on Netflix ever.
Wow.
Number one in every Netflix market.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So they're keeping the director. It was written by, who was it? David Ayer and Max Landis, I think, had both writing credits on it. This 90 million budget. So yeah, not a cheap movie. The sequel, they already said though that Max Landis is not involved. I don't know if he's just doing something different. or what.
Yeah,
they don't really go into it, but he's not involved with the second one. But yeah, it's pretty pretty cool. I liked it. I want to see more. And when I saw this story yesterday, I'm like, oh, fucking sweet. Cause like, yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah, like I said, it sounds like something right up my alley.
It's one of those divisive, is that the right word? Divisive movies right now where the critics panned it, but the audience score is like decently high. Like the audience liked it and the critics just panned it. But I think it's, like the critic score, Rotten Tomatoes, is 28%. The audience score is 88%.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a good flick. I think the critics just are panning it too much because of the societal messages about racism and discrimination and stuff. Because people they're terrible to him. Like if you like to Nick, the orc cop, the other cops are terrible to him. They're straight up bullies, and it's the kind of shit that happens out there, but like. It's not the isolated cases of like the shitty boss and the employee he just doesn't like, or just the straight up racism because you've got some assholes at your work that are racist towards another ethnicity. Everyone dogpiles this guy. They all hate him. They all shit talk on him, and it's like it's not like under their breath. It's to his face, and it's kind of like, wow, like he didn't fucking do anything to you. And I guess. Maybe the critics didn't like how some of that stuff played out. Like, maybe, I don't know why they didn't. I didn't read any critic reviews. I didn't care. I just went and saw it because I knew it was coming out this day. And yeah, I thought it was cool. I'm part of the 88%. And it's on Netflix. And I think that's pretty,
we actually looked at it.
Rad.
It's funny, the other night, my wife and I were like, we were going to watch something on Netflix, and I was like, oh man, I've been hearing good things about this. We should check this out.
I don't think my wife liked it as much as me. So, there's some silly stuff, but I don't know. I like gangbangers and it's LA. Like there's vatos and like straight up.
We both love the like straight up movies and stuff.
Straight up gunfights and shit and LA gangsters. It's like super stereotypical. But
that's kind of interesting.
I like that stuff. I listen to rap music. I'm an idiot. Like, what can I say? And I like guns, so
there you go.
In video games and movies. Dane?
Yo.
I think we have an episode.
I think you might be right.
We were going to do our game of the year, but there's a lot of shit to talk. We played a lot of
stuff to talk about.
So I think next week what we're going to do is we're going to talk about our top 10, and we're going to talk about some of the upcoming games for 2018, what we're excited, and just go over the list and like, oh yeah, that's coming out. Oh yeah, that's coming out. I think might be fun little exercise to do.
I think that's a good idea.
I took the link out of the outline, but it's down below. We'll save it for next week because.
But yeah, we'll go over what we thought, sort of our personal games.
We'll do our top 10 in no particular order. I don't think. Well,
same as kind of what we always do.
Yeah, you can follow me on Twitter at RickF, RICF, no K.
You can always come bug me on Twitter at Dane Cody, at DAYNECODY.
You can follow us on Twitter at Geekoholics, like us on Facebook at Geekoholics, and subscribe to us on YouTube, Geekoholics as well. Obviously, you probably already subscribed to us on your podcast player of choice. That's how you're listening to us, because I don't know who the heck listens to us through YouTube, but some people do, because there's a couple plays there, which is weird. If you are doing that, just get us on your podcast player. The links are down below. Subscribe to us. Leave us a review on your favorite podcasting app, if possible, and or install us on your friends' computers without them knowing.
Yeah. That being said, hey, if you want to listen to us on YouTube, continue doing what you're doing.
Yeah. And then my videos can continually get demonetized because I use video game and music samples for our intros.
Yeah.
Actually,
YouTube.
Last week's episode, or our last episode, because I used music from Star Wars, it just got blocked outright.
Really?
I'm like, you guys are idiots. Everyone else who does, like, I always, if you listen to the show, you obviously know this, but I don't know how often you listen to the show, Dane. But every episode, I have 25 seconds of music, usually from a video game we've played that episode or a movie we've seen.
Right.
Because I've been way too lazy to pay someone to make us an intro, because I don't know how to make music on a computer.
I don't either.
So I go and sample stuff that we talk about. Like, so I'll probably pick a game out of our list that we played this week or whatever. Right? It's usually relevant to the episode. 25 seconds, show cuts our podcast, and then it ends with the rest of the music that I've chosen for the week. Anyway, most sources out there on YouTube, they just, if they own the music, they just monetize it. There's no punishment, no foul. They just,
right.
We're not getting enough views for anyone to get rich off of it on YouTube. But for whatever reason, if one of our podcast audio episodes on YouTube went viral, which it would never, they're going to make all the money off of it. Whoopie ding dong. The fraction of a cent, they can freaking have it. But yeah, I use Star Wars theme music from The Last Jedi, and it's just like, nope, this video is blocked. It's like, that makes no sense.
They've gotten...
But I don't care to edit. That's the only video that's ever gotten blocked on me. And actually, you know what? Here, I don't know if I said this on I might have said this on the podcast. I might have been before we did the podcast. When I started the YouTube channel, I just did the same dumb thing everyone else was doing. Oh, they sent me a a trailer. I'm going to upload it on our channel.
Right, yeah.
So I got a trailer from WB for South Park Stick of Truth. I got a copyright strike when they sent me the video to say, put this on your YouTube channel.
Are you serious?
You know how effing pissed I was? I was like, are you fucking kidding me? You guys sent me the video.
That's pretty ignorant.
Told me to put it on YouTube, and then obviously the YouTube robots just striked it automatically, but like, fuck you guys.
Like I'm not a big on YouTube and stuff, so I don't.
If you get a proper like copyright strike on your account, you get a 3-month or 6-month period where
you can't monetize any.
No, you can monetize. If you get another strike or 2 strikes, your channel's done.
Oh, I see.
I was so pissed off. Like how. It just goes to show how fucking stupid the system is, and it highlights the bigger issues YouTube has right now with they don't freaking curate, monetize, or not monetize, like look at any of the shit. It's all software. There's no human interaction. It's all just algorithms and BS, and that's why there's so much crap on YouTube that's been going down lately, because they don't care. It's just all software. It's like, I had permission to put that video up. That's the funny. Could you
imagine the manpower like that it would take to do that?
But that's why there's so much weird effing shit on YouTube that's disturbing and effed up, and that's why there's abuse of like titling videos, and it's all anyway. I don't want to talk. YouTube's gonna make me have an aneurysm. The bullshit part of the story was here's a video I had permission to put up, and I got striked from the people who gave it to me. I literally wanted to like transport myself through the internet, come out the other end, and strangle the person who sent me that video. Like,
so needless to say, we don't do that anymore on our channel.
No, because it's stupid. Like, leave it to IGN and everyone else to put their dumb watermark on the trailer that's on 1,000 other channels, which is the exact same thing that the official publisher has on their channel. I was like, what? It's fucking stupid. Anyway.
I guess if you can just get more people watching it or whatever, then... Yeah.
And on top of it, you can't monetize that because it's not your content. So I don't know why anyone does that.
I guess it pulls in for possibly some of your other content.
Yeah, I guess you're hoping for people who
they're going to, while they're there, they're like, ooh,
check
look
your
at
other
this.
Stuff out. Yeah.
Isn't this interesting?
Going off on a freaking tirade.
The end of our show
rant. Stupid YouTube. Hey, look, a dead body.
That's too soon. Too
Some people
soon.
might know what I'm referencing there.
Yeah.
I'm going to say until next week, Dane, we are out.
Catch you guys later. Have a happy new year.
Peace. Yeah. Happy New Year, everyone. We'll see you next week.